Hi again, friends. Sometimes you just want to paint something quick. And so today I wanted to share just a quick little peony painting and a cute little paint set by Funto and just demonstrating how it works. You can use it indoors. You can also use it to paint outside. It's really convenient. But let's do these peonies. They're not going to be difficult. Just take 10 minutes with me. So this little kit from Funto is amazing. You've got this cool little bag that you can put over your shoulder, and if you want to do paint outside or paint even in the studio as I am today, it's great for anything. So you've got all kinds of pieces here, and what I love about this is it has all the things that you need. So first of all, it does come with a swatching chart, and so you can go ahead and swatch out all the paint colors so you know what you have and what the names are. And we have this really cute notebook, and this is so great for just tiny little plein air paintings. Did some flowers here. And then we've got our spray bottle, of course, for easy spritzing of your paints to reactivate them. This is absolutely adorable. So all of these colors here, 25 colors in total mixing space. And you've got this clip with a magnet, if I can figure out to do it the right way. Excellent. So essentially you can just clip it on your paper and be good to go as you are painting, especially outdoors. And then you've got this travel brush, which is wonderful. Squeeze it a little bit more water comes out, and you can reactivate your paints and start your project. And of course, it also comes with this really cute collapsible water cup. Just make sure you've extended it all the way and set it there, put your water in, and everything is at your fingertips to paint. So for starting our painting, I'm going to spray down my paints. Just a little bit of spray goes a long way. And I'm just going to do some loose peony flowers for this project. So I always like to dip my brush, just a little habit, and I'm going to grab some pink and just kind of get that nice and juicy, and then just start doing some of my little quick loose brush strokes. So we're going to do some slightly curved brush strokes for the center of this flower, and then on this side as well. And then, of course, using very runny paint. And then I'm going to start adding in some more curved petals. So we want to curve around that center, just like this. I like to go fast, kind of tucking it in right in this point here instead of going straight. I like to call it the swoop. So swooping those petals, and then we're just going to add in these tiny little brush strokes here. We're going really light, and I always like to do that with that first layer. We're starting to extend some of those, a little more water, a little bit more paint, and making it a little bit more dark, and then going up here. So of course, leaving some white space. If you press down more, you're going to get a thicker petal. And then of course, curving little tiny brush strokes over here. You know, peonies are very complicated, or they look complicated because there's so many petals involved. And then you just gotta keep adding in. And you know, we can do a second layer once it's dry as well. I'm going to put a few more right here, just kind of these little curves. You don't have to get it perfect, and you can always add more if you need, but you can see multiple petals right here, getting that full effect. I'm going to do another one, a little bit of a different color, more pinky. Instead of dipping in here, I can just squeeze the brush, and a little bit of water comes out. And then I'm going to do another flower over here. So same type of flower, just curving around, making that center slightly higher up. And then as I'm pushing down, I get a wider brush stroke, a wider petal using more pressure. Let's do a little petal poking down right there. And if you're not sure how to do a peony, you know, obviously there's this tutorial, but you can also find some amazing reference photos on Pinterest or just Google in general to give you that inspiration. what I love about this set, well, there's so many things, but one of the big things is that, of course, you can take it anywhere. It's small, but this part, this thing right here, having that clip, putting the magnet, of course I used my own little clip because I didn't want this to keep popping up, but it's just so helpful when you don't have a lot of hands to help you out when you're outside painting. It's just perfect. Grabbing some green. This is a beautiful bright yellowy green. And to start putting in some stems. So let's go ahead and curve those around. Maybe let it just be a little wonky like that. And if you want to do some leaves, I always dip it in. And it's good to wash your brush in between colors anyway. So that's why that water is there. And we're just going to put in some just kind of little, like, I want to say curvy leaves. But just letting them kind of moving the brush like that to get some looseness going. Well, dry brushing is happening and that's totally fine. Maybe you can change up the green a little bit, just adding that to your original color, seeing what that does. A little bit more water, and old habits die hard. The water is right here, literally at my fingertips. And then I'm just gonna do a little bit of a stem and then press out. These are not traditional peony leaves, but that's the cool thing with art, because I know there'll be someone that says that. But the cool thing about art is that you can put in whatever you'd like. So there you go, your own way of creating. Let's do another one right here, connecting it to the thin stem. And I'm going to wash my brush and just dab it here because I want to pick up some pink. And so that's when you want to rinse your brush. A little bit more pink here. And just, I want to do a little bud right here in the corner. So just a little oval shape. And let that be. Cleaning the brush, dabbing, grabbing some more green, and just putting in a little stem here. Just like that. Okay, so I'm washing that off, and this is fairly dry. I'm gonna do another layer for the flowers. So grabbing some red, grabbing some pink. It's pretty dark, it's pretty thick. There's a lot of paint to water ratio, especially compared to what we already did. And I don't wanna cover everything, I just wanna add in a little bit more. So we've got some darkness. So I'm just gonna go over here, putting in some of those dark moments. And then pressing a little bit thicker here. I go very fast so that my brain is not overthinking. And also my hand is just kind of used to that quick motion. Using more the side of the brush to get more of a wider, more rounded petal. And then, just adding in a little bit here and there. Over here too, some little lines. So this is the point where you can just play. We want some contrast, right? We want some darkness with everything, some texture and shadow. We don't want it everywhere. So try not to get caught up in matching everything. Let's grab some of that pink, a little bit of that there, squeeze the water. Here we are. I will dab the brush, and just so that I don't have too much soupiness on the brush, and then side of the brush, adding in some pink here. Just curving it, swooping it, guys, swooping it around here too. And this is a painting you might have to do a few times before you feel satisfied with it, but it's quite fun. And it's really nice to work on a small scale because then, you don't have to worry too much about spending so much time. And let's grab some pink and add that here, wet on wet. Just for some fun. And then we're going to darken up our greens too, which means I am going to rinse the brush a little bit. Dab that a little bit there. And then I really love this yellowy green, so I'm going to go with that, but more concentrated. And just kind of go around. Same thing, adding in some contrast. It's a very pointy brush, so you can get some nice thin lines, which is great. Going over this a little bit. And so we're just trying to get high contrast going to create that dimension. so you don't have a flat painting. And I'm gonna go over here too a little bit, just a little. So now I do love splatter, so let's get a little bit of splatter going for today. I'm gonna go with the pink. So runny pink. I like to tap the brush a little bit. We're just gonna tap it a little bit here and here over the flowers and a little bit on the bottom. It's kind of going everywhere, but that's okay. I think the last thing is I want to add in some yellow in the flower for the center. So I'm going to use this. It's kind of a yellow ochre color. Just need a little tiny area to mix it with some water. And then we're just gonna do some dabbing, some stippling, some yellow in between the petals on the inside and over here. And friends, that's it. Very easy. So if there's anything else you want to change or do, now's a good time. But if you're interested in getting this set, it is linked in the description. Enjoy, friends. I hope you had a good time. I certainly enjoy painting short when I get the chance. Usually I paint a little bit longer, but today's was nice and quick and easy. I hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like to get the paint kit yourself, click the link below. If you want to sign up for my waitlist for Italy, that's also linked below. And finally, reminding you that I have lots of paintings and some card packs as well, hand-painted floral cards in my shop. So click the link, my Etsy shop link, if you'd like to take a look. Thanks for watching. Happy painting, happy mental health, and I'll see you soon.